Good day, everyone. Our topic for today is compound interest. Compound interest is the interest charged for any interest period. There are rules of compound interest. Rule number one, compound interest is the difference between the amount accumulated, denoted as A, and the principal amount, denoted as P. Now, the formula in terms of the amount accumulated is the sum of the principal amount raised to several years or terms and the rate of compound interest raised to the number of terms. Then we substitute it with the original formula, and this will look like this one. We will distribute the common factor, and the general formula will be formed like this one. For rule number 2, compound interest is calculated on four bases. If in terms of annually, the rate will remain as stated, denoted as R, and the time will always be in terms of its specified time. If it is semi-annually, so basically it's half year, the rate will also be divided by 2, or will consider 50% only from the original rate. But in terms of its time frame, the specified time will be doubled. If it is in terms of quarterly, it means that the whole year will be divided into 4. Then the rate will also be divided into 4, but the time specified will be multiplied by 4. Now, when it comes to monthly computation, the rate will be divided into 12 as every year is composed of 12 months. The time specified will be multiplied by 12. For the rule number 3, if there are distinct rates of interest for distinct periods, for example, in terms of first year, the rate will always be the first rate. This will be used in the formula for the amount accumulated. Then, if it is in terms of 2 years contract, the rate will be used is twice, or it can be two rates with different rate of percentage. If it is in terms of 3 years, then the rate will be used in is 3, and it can be in a different rate or percentage, or the same rate as the first rate of percentage. So after we calculated the amount accumulated, we can now substitute the formula of the amount accumulated with the compound interest formula. Now for the rule number 4, if the time is in the fractional form, then time will be shown as this one. The number of years as a whole number will be denoted as n, while the fractional form of the number of years is denoted as f. Now the formula for the amount accumulated of rule number 4 is this one. So for example, if the time frame in such situation is 4 and 5 over 8 years, then if we substitute it to the formula, it shows like this. So that is the formula for the amount accumulated in terms of 4 and 5 over 8 years. For rule number 5, a certain sum becomes m times of itself in t years on compound interest, then the time it will take to become m times of itself is t times n years. So that is the rule number 5. For rule number 6, the difference between compound interest and simple interest on a sum, or that is denoted as P, in the number of years at the rate of our percent rate of compound interest will be shown as this one. So that is the formula for rule number 6, where SI is the simple interest. When it comes to rule number 7, if on compound interest, a sum becomes denoted as A in A years and B in B years, then for the first formula, if the difference between B and A is equal to 1, then the formula for rate percentage is this one. If it is equal to 2, then the formula will be this one. Then if the difference is a whole number, that is denoted as n, the formula that will be used is this one. Therefore, rule number 7 has a total of 3 formulas that can use. It depends on the difference between B and A. For rule number 8, if a sum becomes n times of itself in t years on compound interest, then the formula that will be used is like this one. So for the rule number 9, if a sum is borrowed at R percentage annual compound interest, which is to be paid in n equal annual installments including interest, then the formula is shown as this one. Is in terms of 2 years. Then if it is in terms of 3 years, this will be the formula that we will going to use. So in rule number 9, there are two formulas of compound interest that we can use in terms of 2 and 3 years. For rule number 10, the simple interest for a certain sum of years at an annual rate of interest, or that is denoted as R%, is the SI, or that is the simple interest. Then the formula that we will be going to use is like this one. The formula of simple interest is the product of the principal amount, number of terms, and the rate percentage. For the last rule, a certain sum of compound interest becomes x times in first n year and y times in second nth year. Then the formula that we will be going to use is like this one. So that's all for the rules of compound interest. Thank you so much for your listening and keep safe everyone.